What's up, fight fans? Welcome to Mr. Mustache MMA News. Today, I want to discuss the main event in UFC 276. But before we get into it, don't forget to like and subscribe, guys. Support the channel so I can continue putting out more content for you guys. Anyways, moving forward, UFC 276, we got Israel Stylebender Adesanya taking on Jared Cannonier for the UFC middleweight strap. I mean, starting with Stylebender, guys, right? Like, you have a guy who's 22-1. In his MMA career, his only loss was when he went up to 205 to take on Jan Blachowicz for the strap. He lost a pretty close decision against Jan. And pretty much that's the only guy to make Izzy look mediocre in MMA, right? You know, he beat Robert Whittaker twice. He's beaten Marvin Vettori twice. He schooled Costa. He had that very boring fight against Romero. But, all in all, Stylebender has looked almost unstoppable at 185. And going against a guy like Jared Cannonier, where, Jared's that dude who's always there. Everybody's going to overlook him. He's going to be a huge underdog, but you can't sleep on Jared Cannonier in this fight. He's got the power. He's fought at heavyweight. He's fought at light heavyweight. He's finally at a very healthy. Dude looks just fucking jacked. He looks phenomenal at middleweight. The only guy to stop him at middleweight, which he didn't even stop him, but Robert Whittaker beat his ass for 3 rounds. That's the only time where Jared's even looked human at middleweight. I mean, Jared has beat everybody and almost at ease since he's come down to 185. TKO'd David Branch, TKO'd Anderson Silva, TKO'd Jack Hermanson. I mean, he has made everybody. He's basically been like the number 3 guy at middleweight ever since he's come down. The only guy to beat him is Robert Whittaker. He schooled Kelvin. He took out Blonde Brunson. I mean, people just sleep on Jared just because of his personality. He's quiet. He's got the whole crystal thing going on. And I love that about him. Like, that's what I like about Jared Cannonier. Like, as a human being, his character, the way he fights, just everything about the guy. He's everything that you want to look up to as a role model, as a human being. Like, the guy's just that dude. And I'm very happy for him getting this matchup. Like I said, everybody's counting him out for this fight. And I think Jared has got to go out there and be the bully and make Stylebender fight his fight, kind of work the clinch, get close to Stylebender. Don't let Stylebender work his reach. Don't let him, because if Stylebender keeps him at bay, he's just going to piece him apart, and this is going to be a very quick fight. It's going to be an easy night at the office for Israel. And where Jared has got to, he's got to make this a dirty fight. He's got to be able to go through the fire to get his work done. And I don't know if it's going to work out for him. Like put a gun to my head, and of course I'm going to say Stylebender. I think that Stylebender's tall, long, lanky. He's got that superior kickboxing. He's got the superior Muay Thai and striking ability. He has a good enough grappling game to negate what Cannonier can do. But what Cannonier's game is he's just freakishly strong, freakishly powerful. He's always in your face. He can take anyone out. He's got, he's been in there with everybody too. Like, he's fought literally the last 4 dudes. He's about to fight the last 4 dudes who's fought for the 205 title. Glover Teixeira, Dominic Reyes, Jan Blachowicz, and now he's about to fight Stylebender. So, like, where he's at right now, he's fought the who's who in other divisions, including his own division. So it's like he's been tested. He's fought everyone. He's never had an easy fight. So when it comes to experience, Cannonier is right up there. When it comes to success, Cannonier's right up there. He's found his niche, per se, when it comes to being at the middleweight division. And this is a perfect matchup. I love this matchup. Like, he's right in line to do what he does best. Ever since he lost to Robert Whittaker, it seems like he's kind of righted those wrongs in a sense, for a lack of a better term. And then you got Stylebender, who's like right there, and if he wins this fight, Stylebender wins this fight, I'm pretty sure in the same night, too, we got Sean Strickland and Alex Pereira, which there's a whole conversation and a whole video on those two and the title implications of those two and in itself, and I'm not even going to talk about that right now. But Stylebender, what he's been able to do to the middleweight division, he's made it seem like there's no competition, even though the middleweight division is one of the best divisions in the entire UFC. But that's how good Izzy is, right? Like, he has been able to lap these dudes and almost just make it boring. Like, okay, well, I mean, if he beats Cannonier, wasn't he go back up to 205 and like fight the same guy that he lost? Stylebender's kind of in this tough situation where, like, people are calling him boring, which is super weird, but it's just because he's just so much better and he's so much levels ahead of these other guys who are right below him. A lot of people thought that he lost the fight against Whitaker. You could say he lost that fight, but it was so close that I had Stylebender winning that fight. I did. I was kind of rooting for Whitaker towards the end, but gun to my head, I thought Stylebender won that fight, and I think it's going to happen the same again. I think he's going to be able to fight his fight against Cannonier, but this fight just has my brain scrambling on what's going to happen and what could happen, the possibilities, and what Jared Cannonier can do, and what Izzy is probably going to do. And that's kind of like the two stories where Izzy's probably going to fight his fight, pick him apart, keep his distance, use his kicks, use his leg kicks, use his front kicks, use his side kicks, use his superior jab skills, and be able to pick Jared Cannonier apart at bay. But Jared, if he can kind of get through that fire and get close to Izzy and touch Izzy and hurt Izzy and slow him down and use leg kicks. We saw what he did to Anderson Silva with that leg kick. If he's able to utilize those against Izzy the right way, he could change some shit and make it very interesting and surprise a lot of people. So I think this fight is going to be a lot closer than what everybody thinks it's going to be. I'm very interested to hear your guys' thoughts on what's going to happen in this matchup. I personally, gun to my head, take Izzy, but I wouldn't be upset if Jared wins. I think that he definitely has a few ways to win this fight. So I'm interested to hear what you guys think. But guys, don't forget, like and subscribe so I can continue putting that shit out there for you guys, all right? Mr. Mustache MMA News out. Let's fucking go, fight fans.